All right, let's look at another special quadrilateral. This one is actually called a rhombus. My generic definition of a rhombus is nothing more than a parallelogram with all sides congruent. That means all four sides are the same length. It's still going to have all the same properties of a parallelogram. So if we look at the properties of a rhombus, we see that the opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are congruent, any pair of consecutive angles are supplementary. Those are all just properties of a parallelogram. Now, all sides are congruent. That's going to be special to the rhombus. Diagonals bisect each other. And in fact, when they bisect each other, they're actually going to be perpendicular bisectors, meaning it's going to form a 90-degree angle. So let's work a quick example to see what type of problem I can actually ask you for a rhombus. In this case, I'm going to have a rhombus, and we're going to call this A, B, C, D. And I'm going to ask you to find AD. Find AD. Now, when we find AD, that is this length right. Oh, I have these labeled wrong. This should be D. This should be C. So AD should be this diagonal right here. Now, I also drew in another diagonal here. I'm going to call this E. So I actually tell you that AE is 2x minus 2 inches, and I tell you ED is 5x plus 1 divided by 4 inches. And I actually ask you to find AD the entire length. Okay, so the fact that this is a rhombus, and I'm telling you this is a rhombus, meaning that these are the same length, all the same, and these two are parallel, these are parallel. That tells me that these bisect each other. Okay, so really what that tells me is AE is congruent to ED. Congruent, equal sign. So we're going to set these equal to each other and solve. So we're going to have 2x minus 2 equals 5x plus 1 over 4. Multiply both sides by 4. Hippity-hoppity, distributive property. We're going to get 8x minus 8 equals 5x plus 1. I'm going to move my 5x over by subtracting 5x. That gives me 3x minus 8 equals 1. I'm going to add 8. It gives me 3x equals 9. And of course, then if I just divide by 3, so I have 3x equals 9. Divide both sides by 3, and I have x equals 3. All right, so now I know what x equals. Now I got to go back and look at the actual question that it asks right here. Find AD. So AD is the entire length. So if I can actually find AE, I can just multiply it by 2. So to find AD, my AD, I'm going to do 2 because there's 2 of them, times, well, let's just do the simple one, AE, 2 times, I found my x, which is 3, minus 2. This is now just an order of operations problem. 2 times 6 minus 2. 2 times 4, which is going to be 8. And of course, these are inches, so AD is nothing more than 8 inches.